Hey YouTube, how's it going? Make Mine Marvel, back with another unboxing and review. This is the Angela Premium Format, the exclusive, and you can see it's number 374 out of, I believe, 500. Alrighty, let me get this sucker opened up. Alright, so got the styrofoam out of the box, and I got the tape cut. The only thing that concerns me about this, I didn't hear any rattling, but the styrofoam wasn't like pushed down all the way before it's taped, so it had like a little gap there. I don't know if that means anything shifted around in there. I don't. It didn't sound like it did, but we'll see. Hopefully, there's no breaks. All right. Now it looks like this might have, I don't know where this. Sorry, I don't know where this would have been. Kind of sitting right there. It's just fabric, so obviously nothing broken there. It's just fabric with wire in it, so you can kind of shape that however you want. Her ribbon. But, all right, let me get the base out, and we'll start getting a little view of that. Looks like everything was pretty secure. Things were shifted around a little bit. For instance, this axe was slid up like this. It sits more in the groove there. You can see the sword there. It's a little out of where it would have been, or should have been. The spear looks like that didn't really move. So, we'll see. All right. Okay, so here's the base here. It is out of 500. The paint's already a darker color than the other bases for the other Guardians of the Galaxy set. It's definitely darker than the Gamora, but it's just slightly darker than the Groot and Rocket. But yeah, it looks pretty. It's nothing's broken. It looks real nice. And at the end of the video, when we get a comparison shot next to them, we can see how the blues of the crystals, if they're kind of the same blues, or the same thing with the water or whatever that's supposed to be on the alien terrain. But we'll take a look at all that. Okay, and there is the body out of the box. The skin tone is a lot darker and nicer than I thought. Not in a bad way. Yeah, definitely in a good way. They did a great job with the paints. The leather wrap. So you got fabric with the cloth, the belt, the little ties. Looks like most of everything else is sculpted. From what I can see, there's no breaks. That's a really nice shot there, so you can kind of get the color of the paint on her armor. It's real cool looking bronze goldish with some worn weather look to it. And if you guys can see here, let me see if I can get a bit of light. So the way they did the white fabric, and I don't know if this is mine or if this is the way it's supposed to be. It looks like it's the way it's supposed to be because it's pretty uniformed. But it looks like they made this kind of weathered and dirty. So down here, about that much of it is got a tint of like a dirt, a dirty color look to it. And then up top, it becomes much cleaner. So, kind of like it would normally be if she was battling and fighting. And the actual front piece of cloth is the same way. It's a little dirtier from about here, and then it gets whiter and cleaner as it gets towards the top. So I'm tending to think that's how it's supposed to be. Other people have to check out other videos and reviews, but please let me know if that is or isn't how it's supposed to be. All right, let's get some more pieces on this thing. All right, so next I'm going to put on the ribbon, but I kind of just wanted to stretch it out and lay it out there so you can kind of see how long it is. You can see the comic books and the statue in the background. So, I mean, it's not quite 3 feet. I'd say it's probably like 2.5 feet or so long. What they could have done to improve this is that on the ends, just where they make the cut, and this is zoomed in a lot, it's slightly frayed, so that can probably be cleaned up a little bit. But again, it's you know, they could have made that a little nicer and maybe sewed that end or something like that. And both ends are like that. So I'm just thinking this was just a giant, you know, spool of ribbon that they just like kept cutting at a certain length. So I mean, definitely could have done that better. That's pretty cheap, pretty poor on Sideshow's part to do something like that. All right, so I already fixed that up on both ends. I just took a lighter to the to both ends and just slightly got the flame to the, you know, the tip of the, and it just, you know, it seared all the ends of the thread, so now nothing's frayed or anything. So it should take care of that issue. Easy fix, but shouldn't have been done. All right, and then so how I got the ribbon around, I just kind of looped in the back. I mean, I don't know how this is going to look with everything set up. I don't know if the hairs, you know, Angela's hair is going to be in the way of that back there. I seen the ribbon come across the front. I didn't like it as much, so I'm going to hopefully see if it'll stay like this. So I just kind of wound it around tight to her arms, and then I just let it go, and it kind of sprung into like where it's just kind of naturally how it is. So I'm sure there'll be a lot more playing I'll do with it to get it kind of where I want it, and I've got to adjust, you know, bottom down here, there's wires in this, how I want this, but whatever. This is a very, very nice surprise. This is sculpted and painted very well. She looks beautiful. Just like the Gamora PF. The pictures don't do the Gamora PF justice. She's really, really pretty in hand, and this is really, really pretty in hand as well. He did a great job with this. The whole body too. I mean, I still think Sideshow is tops for sculpture and painting. I really do. Sometimes I'll have quality control issues with that ribbon. There's really no excuse for that. But as far as the you know the statue of the sculpt and the paint goes, I don't know. In my opinion, they can't be touched. So I'm kind of digging how that looks so far with, you know, her head is a magnet right there on the peg. It goes into her body. But I'm kind of digging how that looks. I like it on, you know, wrapped around her back there as opposed to coming over in front of her. Okay, so this being the exclusive version, you get two sets of hands. The regular version comes with the sword and the axe, the sword being her front hand, which goes up in here, and the axe being the back hand, which goes back there. And the exclusive set, she's got a spear that she's throwing, so the front hand is the hand not holding a weapon, and the back's a spear. The exclusive spear, it's got good weight to it, and let me show you. So that's from the base down, so it's taller than the premium format. So the thing is pretty huge, and it's nicely detailed. Got good weight. Everything sculpted real well. You know, metal's got the battle damage. Just, you know, it's not real metal. It's all sculpt. It's all polystone. But they did a real nice job with it. Now you could obviously mix and match these hands. You know, you could put the sword hand in front there and put the spear back there. So you know, you can mix and match them up. I think the pose, and I haven't put the hands in there, but from pictures and stuff, the pose is more natural to look like a spear throwing pose, like she's going to throw something, as opposed to her chopping with the axe. So in my opinion, the exclusive makes a little bit more sense from pictures I've seen, but let's get these pieces on and see how the pose actually looks. All right, so there is with the sword and the axe hand on. Now the pose looks good. I haven't seen it with the spear on yet. It's not bad. It definitely flows like she is swinging the axe. So it works. The regular edition definitely works. Now, this statue it hides the seams perfectly. So the seam where the hand connects is hidden by the glove gauntlet. You know, I'd say the cuff of her gauntlet there goes over the hand. So that seam's completely hidden. The seam for her head is completely hidden by the way they have the hair flowing around. And same thing back for the back axe hand. the seam is where the cuff and the green part of her fabric on her wrist. So you can't tell at all. It's engineered very, very well. It's definitely got great flow to it. Looks like he's coming right at you. Real nice statue. Yeah, I'm sticking by my original statement here. This pose definitely works better. It's not bad for the regular, but it definitely works better with the spear. So for me, the exclusive on this statue is more, if you can pick up the exclusive, definitely get it, because I think that the pose works way, way better. Her throwing a spear than the sword and the axe. And let's put the sword in her front hand and just see how that looks. So there's, sword and spear. I don't dig the look. It's too much going on. It's, it makes it look like she's blocking with this hand and trying to throw the spear at the same time. Obviously not going to work. I'm sure what would probably work, though, is we could switch them up and put the non-weapon hand in there, and we'll put the axe in the backhand and see how that looks. So that works. The unarmed hand up front, and then the axe in the back swing. But this hand is definitely positioned, the front hand, in like a throwing motion as she's balancing herself, aiming with that front hand to throw the spear. All right, let me get her next to the other Guardians of the Galaxy. We can take a look that way. All right, so there's the display for now. I'm pretty happy with it. I think I'm going to keep it like this. And I'll move some pieces around. Angela is very hard to fit because of the length of that spear. She is very hard to fit on my display. And these shelves are 13 inches or 14 inches deep on the top. So if you want to have her facing straight at you, if like I was looking straight at her and you want to face her right here, it's pretty hard to do because that spear